This is a short instructional video on how to use the DB Rover client UI to extract some data in CSV format. So what I'm going to firstly do is log into DB Rover. If you haven't used DB Rover UI before, basically it's made up of three parts. You've got a menu at the top here. On the left hand side we have the database and tables that are available. You may have multiple databases, you may have multiple tables within databases. And in the center section here you have the results panel. So we're going to follow the advice here and select a table to continue. And what it'll do is once you've clicked on that table, it'll present the results in a table format on the right hand side. The results are generally made up of some information about what database you're using, the table you're interested in, and also some metadata around that table. So there's been no metadata configured for this particular database, so therefore there is no particular description there. There's also a toolbar here which displays a number of results and how many results are being displayed at the moment. For each of the columns within the table, there's also some information about those columns. Again, there's no metadata that's been configured. You can do that within DB Rover tools, and we'll have a look at that in another video. It does give you information about the name of the field and also what type of field it is. So what we're going to do here is refine the table a little bit, because we don't want to pull down all of the records, we're only interested in a subset. So the way to do that is to click the refine button. Now when you click the refine button, it'll give you a little dialog which allows you to specify the parameters that you want to refine your query with. The first thing in the refine table is the select columns. These columns names may differ slightly from what is up here in the table. If they do, it's just because metadata has been applied to change that table name. If you click on the little I button next to a particular column, it'll show you the column that's available, the column name, instead of the metadata that's been provided. So let's say that we're interested in a few of these columns, so we're just going to grab a few of these columns that are available here, and then what we're going to do is put in a SQL query. Now I've already created a SQL query previously, so what I'm saying here is I want the volume to be greater than 2 in my query. I also want to order it by the cost, and I want it to be a descending order. Okay, so the actual syntax of the SQL query is database vendor specific. So check with your database vendor documentation, which is generally available online, as to what the syntax is for your particular where clause. There's also a little help icon which can give you a bit of a pointer as to learning about where clauses. So there you go, that's the documentation online for where clauses that isn't too bad. So once you've created your where clause and you're happy with it, it's just a matter of hitting the apply button, and it will go off and generate the table that's associated with those parameters. So what I'm going to do is just close that, and once I'm happy with my table, you can see here that it's got volumes that are all above 2, which is exactly what we wanted, and also it is in a descending order. So once we've got that particular table, we can just hit the CSV button and it'll go and download all of the 4,686 records in this particular query. So even though we're only showing 100 rows here, we'll pull down all of those records. Alternatively, I can generate a PDF. Now PDF only generates what's available there on the screen. It won't download all of the records, so that it gives you a bit of an indication of what's available there on the screen. Okay, and that's pretty much it for this video. Any questions? Please send them through to contact@geotabular.com. See you next time.